podcast is a member of WildGamesProductions.com and DetroitRadio.com. Original.
Yoinks! And away!
Basic.
Yoinks! And away!
First edition.
Yoinks! And away!
And then...
I says, Pigpen, this here's a rubber duck, and I'm about to put the hammer down.
Welcome to THACO's Hammer, the best damn AD&D 2nd edition podcast ever. You smell feet? That's quite a feat.
Someone put their freaking shoes back on at this gaming table.
Are you kidding? It adds to the... Well, I'll break out the Lysol if you want. Hi, folks. THACO's Hammer's Flatbook number 37. I'm DM Glen. And we got the usual gang of... idiots. Guys, all right, idiots are
miscreants, heathens, and ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah, there you go.
Who wants Brian, DM Brian, say hi.
I'm the ne'er-do-well. Hey, folks.
And DM Full-On Gamer.
I claim heathen. Greetings, Gamer Nation.
And DM Corey, what do you claim?
This land for England. Hi, everybody. Welcome back.
I claim this planet. We've been away for a while, and
can't you tell?
Good for you. Okay, we'll have those go. So let's go to hits and crits.
What are you doing tonight? I don't know. What are you doing tonight? The burlesque, Louis' paradise, miserable and lonely and stupid. What am I, crazy or something? I got something good here. What am I hanging around with you guys for?
Hits and crits. Hits and crits. Here we are back. What you guys do in gaming? Corey.
Why you always gotta go to me first? All right. Just finished D&D again tonight. The first group was tonight. The one with the double paladins. Just let them get a little game on, and they got their way through a little dungeon delving, kicking in doors, taking treasure, killing monsters. Ran upon a creature that I did not know was going to fit so well with the campaign that I'm doing, where I'm throwing both teams, both of my D&D groups into the Blood War, one working one side, one working the other. Shadowhounds.
Oh, I've heard of those.
Yes.
Back in the back of TSR Forgotten Realms book, the supplement Giant Craft. There's a section that says New Monsters. In the back of it, it reads and describes that Shadowhounds are from the Abyss, where the Tanari rule, and they work for the Tanari. Meanwhile, I didn't know that Hellhounds were from Bator and worked for the Batezu.
They're from hell. That's why they're called Hellhounds.
Right, but I didn't know that Shadowhounds worked for Tanari. They're essentially bred by Tanari.
Yeah.
Yes, demon dogs, hell dogs.
Yeah.
Little different.
Oh, yeah.
Devil dogs,
true.
demon dogs.
But yeah, I had a bunch of them.
Entirely different monster.
I essentially had a pack of about 6 of them chasing 4 adventurers through a ruined town, and essentially shushed them and shoot them into a abandoned mine. So that's where they're at right now. But yeah, that's what I did there.
So you get like some hellhounds and some shadowhounds together and you party, huh?
Well, you take bets on
each other.
Yeah, exactly. You take bets on who wins that fight.
That's better than cockfighting, yeah.
I wouldn't do that to my people.
That's what you have going on in Sigil, where you have the underground, dogfighting rings for the demonic planar summoning animals.
Yeah, but you're only invited by the noble Michael Vick.
Ooh. Oh, Corey.
I'm allowed to say that I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm allowed to say that.
This is true.
Anyways.
This is true.
That's true.
For those gamers who aren't into sports, that was a football reference. All right, moving on.
Be gone. Full on. What you been doing this week?
I have been reconning a brand new gamer lair. So I shall be able to have gamers. If any gamers are in Lawton, Oklahoma in the next 2 months, look me up.
Configure your man cave, huh?
Oh, Glenn, how far is that from you again?
45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes.
Oh,
right.
well.
You mean Glenn's going to be able to get into a D&D game?
A face-to-face one with full-on?
I know. I see.
Full-on?
Wait,
full-on? I want video. I want to see this.
Yeah, well, remember that little discussion we had? He says, "Oh, if I can't get a ride, can you take me to the car?" He says, "Sure, I'll strap you on the back." What?
Oh, that's
My
right.
motorcycle. No, you're not.
I put my wife on the back of a motorcycle. I've got room for you.
I'm not going there.
Just gonna leave that one alone.
Yeah. How's Tor
And
going?
he also, say again, Tor has been going along great. There's a brand new patch, major patch coming out, updates and upgrades and stuff like that. In other D20 Radio news, the D20 Radio Gamer Nation Studios first product for Edition Wars has met its Kickstarter funding and has been funded and was closed out at 200% plus funded on Kickstarter and will be appearing at Gen Con.
Very nice.
Awesome.
And my face in it as well.
Is it that Terminator picture that you made?
Something like that.
Okay. I thought so.
That leaves you, Brian. What's up?
Last but not least, well, I've been, as you all know, I've been sick. I tried to do episode 36, but my voice was like, no, and my body was like, hell no. So, the last 3 weeks straight, I've been working, trying to keep everything afloat, and I haven't done very much gaming-wise, but that is going to change within the next week or two. Once Corey's schedule settles, and also update the fifth player in the group, Allie, she had to have eye surgery a week ago.
Did she see it coming?
No, no. Basically, her I think it's her left eye just completely lost vision because blood was draining into her retina.
That's not good.
Threatening to detach it. Yeah, it was bad.
What was with the blood?
I don't know.
Wow.
But basically, yeah, she had eye surgery a week ago, and she's doing okay. She's recovering. I talked to her last night, asked her if she was up for gaming with the four of us, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm good." So
we wish her the best, and we wish for her speedy return.
Yes,
it's a Skype game. All we need is headphones and a mic.
Exactly.
Eyes are optional in this.
You have to see the map
and the dice roll.
According to Brian, anyway.
Hey, now wait a minute. But anyway, go on, Glen.
Okay. All right. Well, what have I been doing? Being sick, just like Brian. Basically, my grandson gave me whatever the heck he had, and it manifested in a very weird way, all in my joints and muscles. So I was like the Tin Man yesterday until I got some Aleve in me, and it was weird. Even my fingers, I couldn't move. I couldn't even make a fist in my right hand.
Wow,
it hurt too bad.
Wow,
isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
I thought, Becky goes, well, it could be finally getting arthritis. All of a sudden, all over the place? No.
That would really suck.
Yeah. That's not how arthritis works, I don't think.
It jumps out of the closet and goes, surprise, arthritis.
Booga booga.
Yes. You are now the Tin Man. Thank you. Thank you very much. Tip your way.
Save us paralysis or suffer gout.
Oh,
gout.
I thought I had that a couple times.
Yeah. You had gout? Really?
No, I didn't have gout. I thought I had gout at one time. My feet were, but it was only congestive heart failure. It was okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't gout. It was something worse. Yeah, no big deal.
Okay. I also got a sweet little voicing gig for some textbook, a textbook place. They put out things for like math, mostly math. And
so you're winging it.
Yeah.
That's what he's good at.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
No, the guy. I actually write scripts. I mean, I'm voicing these little cartoon characters I use in there. It's for like grades 3 to 12.
Oh, that's cool.
And I thought
textbook Janny know it.
Yeah, I thought I'd get maybe $150 whenever I work every other week or whatever. No, I figured, well, I'll have a little money to spend at the convention. No, it's been 2 weeks. I've already more than covered the convention, hotel and all.
Good.
Like a couple hundred over.
Good. If I made that kind of money just for doing voices and playing characters, I'd brag too.
Yep.
He's reveling in his success.
I'm hoping it continues. Even though
I have a little bit of disagreement with him once in a while on a character. It's like, here's a monster truck. We wanted you to do something like Scottish or something like that. It's just, can I do Macho Man? Monster truck would be perfect for Macho Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That kind
Bonesaw's ready.
Yes.
Elizabeth. and gaming, just sort of like doodling around with a few things, and thinking about running a kiddie game at the North Texas RPG. Thinking about it, and somebody, bless their heart, came up with these very cool. I mean, first of all, Uriel over on Dragon's Foot, thank you, came up with these their index cards character sheets for basic, for like the RC.
Very cool.
And wonderful, because I can print them out on cardstock and cut them 4 to a page and just slip them in the pocket of my rule encyclopedia like that. And I always got character sheets. And then somebody else, old school Chris, over on the other game I'm doing, made a D&D version of it. So I got those now for first and second edition too.
So we need second edition.
So at least this time you're not doing like that massive amount of cutting and things like you did last year.
Yeah. This time I'm just doing it for myself, and they're going to find them in the packets. You know that.
Oh yeah, which was a reasonable ending to that labor.
Yes.
At least they didn't sit in a desk somewhere.
And I just got finished a little while ago doing the next installment of The Legend of Fin Fang Foom, the Skype actual play first edition Oriental Adventures game.
Very cool.
Where I managed to not get killed by a whole lot of centipedes.
Oh, great! Wow.
But then they get a premonition of me like killing the entire party with the bad guy standing behind me with me like a dagger dripping blood and smiling evilly, and it's like, thanks, I need to know that.
Yeah. Well, you know how there are a couple ways that could go, but let's not go off on that tangent.
It's Mr. Vincent going, this guy has a vision, you ought to know about it,
Yeah, create a little party paranoia. Yeah. Or grumble.
So that's what I've been doing. Mm-hmm. So, hey, Brian, we got any emails?
Yes, indeed we do. We have an email from a new emailer to the show. His name is Michael Fiorentino. He says, "Hey, everyone, I just wanted to say how thrilled I was when I discovered your podcast and how much our game club enjoys hearing your discussions on AD&D 2nd Edition. I was intrigued by your review of Player's Option Combat and Tactics. I tried to use the Player's Option system back when it was first published, and though I found quite a lot of really good ideas in Combat and Tactics, which in my humble opinion was the best of the Player Option series, I agree and disagree, but we'll get into that. I prefer to use much of what I found within its covers after a bit of tweaking as additions to our club's house rules. I also wanted to say that I totally agreed with Full On Gamer's explanation of why the fighter in any warrior group class should receive more types of specialization at higher levels. Everyone here agrees that it makes for better game balance, not to mention flavor, at higher levels of play. Anyway, thanks again for producing your wonderful podcast, and we look forward to hearing the next 100 installments."
You sure that email's for us?
Yeah.
Vacation.
Thank you for that email. Pat on the back for Full On Gamer. All right.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Fiorentino. We appreciate the email and keep them coming.
And his online name is DM Shadowmere. And
Shadow Mirror or Shadow Mere?
Shadowmere.
M-E-R-E.
M-E-R-E, yes.
Hey, okay. Yes.
Yeah, and he even gave us the phonetic pronunciation of his name because, in his words, nobody ever gets it right. It's like, no, all I think of is Linda Fiorentino, and there it is. So there it is. Founder, Trailblades Adventurers Guild, Ocala, Florida.
But circle that one. They agreed with Full On.
Hey, Full On's happy.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. He's been more right than any other right person on this show, so except for Corey, I think.
I'm not right. I'm just left.
Little left of center.
What?
But getting to talk about what he said, it's like, players. It's like they're, to me, out of the 4 black players option books, or the 3 players option books and the high level campaign supplement. Seeing how I was laying on a couch trying not to die while you guys were talking about combat and tactics, just as a thing, to me, yes, usefulness is probably an 8 out of 10. There's some things I don't use, some ththings I don't want to use because it just creates disharmony in my brain, and DMing is hard enough without that. I particularly like it. The critical hit system, which I heard you guys had a nice little row about. That kind of confused me. That's why I just took that. Good hits and bad misses, a couple other things, and just put it in a pot and boiled it and called it soup. To me, it's one of the more useful ones, yes, but spells and magic is more useful in my opinion. That's all.
Okay.
Fair enough. What else we got?
Okay.
What else we can get in trouble with. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. We got 2 voicemails. I'm going to play the first one.
What if someone wants to send us a voicemail? What do they call?
Oh, let's see.
They call 405-806-0555.
That is
excellent.
True. That is indeed true.
Not late for supper.
Yeah, don't call us late for dinner. Oh dear.
My name's Corey.
Hey, THACO's Hammer. It's DM Cal again. I am so glad you love fire trap arrows, and because of that, that massive mayhem destruction is being caused in your campaign. I wanted to make sure that thanks were given to PCs at the time, DMs in their own rights, Adam, Greg, Matt, Dave, aka Davidas, and all guided by the expert hands of one DM, Jim. In addition, I thought I'd just throw out there that along that same vein of spells doing interesting things, I once played with a somewhat demented priest of Tyke who figured out how to use weighty chest in one of the stupidest ways possible. He would weighty chest sling rocks, and because weighty chest let him pick them up just fine, he weighty chest sling rocks, or weighted chest sling rocks, and then put them in a sling and toss them, and suddenly he was doing predetermined double damage with sling rocks. It was rather hilarious. In addition, want to give a shout out to the Fighters Challenge. I once got to run a Swarthy Luskin Myrmidon through there, and he ended up 7 levels later, having survived a bunch, and actually had a full-fledged life, going on to be a 13th level paladin after he had a conversion of faith from getting his eye plucked out by a sorcerer. So, yeah, keep bringing those hammers down, and best of luck. Bye.
Thank you, DM Cal. That was very cool.
Yeah,
seems
thanks.
those fire trap arrows are pretty popular. Yes,
Of course.
Boom.
When you've got a
Or as
bunch of
Brian
MacGyvers as players.
Yeah, sitting right here at the table.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
A
But,
shrink spell, a Bowyer Fletcher, and a willingness to shoot arrows at something that inherently dispels magic. Redwood arrows.
True. I don't see anything wrong with using weighty chest on those sling stones.
Wow. That's rather ingenious, I have to say. But yeah, it's one of those things that can be exploited really, really badly.
What's the spell he's using?
Weighty chest.
And describe for me and the other people at home who don't know the spell, what does the spell do?
If I'm going off memory, but if I remember correctly, it's basically it takes an object and increases its weight by, I think, a factor of 2, I think.
Well, let me reference my Volume 4 Wizard Spell Compendium.
Full-on gamer
It's
to
a
the
lot
rescue.
Yep. Not full-on game. Yeah, it's a lot easier than trying to cast Enlarge in the middle of throwing it.
That's true. And God only knows there were players who would try to pull that kind of thing. I've seen it.
Well, my favorite's always the boiling oil on top of the wall and then hit Enlarge a couple of times. Get the whole row. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, the enlarge spell can be abused a lot too. Let's see.
Throwing rocks, making them boulders, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Oh, geez, I'm an idiot.
No, you're not. We're just smarter than you.
Then that would make me an idiot.
Oh, that means we're bottom of the barrel too. Oh.
Why do you think
Wait, he
we're
said
all doing
pre-spell, didn't he? I'm in the wrong place.
Oh, it's a pre-spell? Okay, I'm on it.
All right, so I get the gist.
Yeah. So basically what they're doing is taking a sling stone and making it a larger missile in order to inflict a lot more damage.
Yeah, that's making it way.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, like I said, that can be abused quite badly.
Yeah, I can see it now. That's Corey. That's dangerous. I'm stealing it.
Of course he would.
So?
Of course he would. I mean, this is Corey we are talking about after all.
Yeah. Let's see. Fire trap arrows, weighty chest. DM Cal, keep them coming. Corey's not done yet.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. It is a first level pre-spell, touch, somatic material, casting time form, to last 1 day per level, affects a 5-foot cube of material, no larger than a 5 foot by 5 foot by 5 foot cube. Mm-hmm. When the object is touched by anyone other than the caster, the apparent weight of the object increases, becoming 2 to 5 times the weight of the person or persons touching it.
Oh my goodness.
5 times.
This condition makes the object extremely difficult to move for anyone but the caster. The caster can move the object normally throughout the duration of the spell.
Wow.
So I think double damage for a sling stone was actually kind of underreaching potentially what you could do with that. Because if I throw this at your average 180, 210 pound fighter, he suddenly gets hit by a fist-sized rock that weighs 500 pounds.
Yeah. That's the equivalent of being hit by basically a giant hurling a boulder.
Yeah, you're a freaking
that does take a little bit of a nice house ruling there, because the weight increase is if you read further, the second paragraph says the weight increase is activated only when some other creature tries to lift or move the chest.
See something. Okay, we now we see what kind of game is going on there. For example,
the caster cannot hurl the chest at an opponent, hoping the foe will be bowled over or unbalanced by the weight. It states in the black and white there.
Okay, there it is. So there's the. Apparently, they just decided to just kind of ignore that statement.
Yeah, so you could actually just use that spell like an escape, kind of like my one wizard, I took 2 proficiency slots in like artistic carving, and he would carry around with them small statues that resembled like iron golems or stone golems, and then he just perfected the enlarge spell. So when he was running down the corridor, he'd put it in a corridor and then he'd cast enlarge on it.
Now you could actually make other uses of this though. Like, say you wanted to keep some prisoners in place, you could put a weighty chest spell on a rock you set on their chest.
This is true.
Or say you have shackles.
Don't go anywhere.
Prisoner, put them in shackles. Cast the spell on the shackles. Now they have to lift the shackles. Unless you're picking up the shackles to escort them around and put them somewhere and let go.
Here's a good question. I mean, if you're gonna, I know I'm bringing reality into your fantasy. Just bear with me here.
Ew. He got reality in my fantasy.
So I get a big rock and I put it in a well bucket.
Yeah.
And I cast that spell on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one's really moving it.
Correct.
So it doesn't weigh anything until somebody tries to move it.
Correct.
It still weighs what it's going to weigh. It weighs
it's going to weigh what the original rock weighs. So in the same token, you throw a sling stone. Well, all right. Leaving the analogy, you throw a sling stone that weighs normal weight. When the opponent tries to stop to move or push that object is when the weight increase happens. Wouldn't that be when it hits it?
No.
Because you're actually changing the movement.
No.
All right.
I get where Flan's going.
Yeah. So you've got to actually be putting your hands on the object to try to pick it up and move it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lift or move when the person tries to lift or move the object. They say chest, but of course they let the spell be wide open to 5 foot cube worth of material.
So if you put something in the middle of the corridor and I want to move it out of the way and you cast that spell on it, if I use my face or my chest to move it, it's going to weigh its normal weight?
No.
If you try to move it at all,
something that will it will be determined by your will.
Right.
Your will is choosing to try to move it, no matter how. Mm-hmm. And the spell is coming into effect saying, no, you're not. I'm heavy.
Yep. Unless you have giant strength, it's not going to move.
Yeah. What I don't mind, you don't matter.
There you go.
There it is. So,
however, a foe might be, last sentence, however, a foe might be tricked into trying to lift or move the chest.
Yeah. And then, that's what it comes into effect.
Role-playing deceit type thing of, I command you, I'll bet you money you can't pick up this feather. See? I can pick up the feather. Your turn, or you die.
This would be a great comm game for drinks in a bar.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That would be a thief, like a mage thief in a bar trying to make money.
Yeah.
You can't pick up this glass of beer. Dude, it's just a glass of beer. Try it.
It's just a glass of beer.
Mage thief priest.
Yeah,
or priest thief.
Oh, it's a priest spell. My bad.
Priest spell, so priest of mask.
So they'll do it for drinks then. If it's drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, for drinks.
Priest of mask.
Yeah, a couple silver pieces, and the duration is a day per level. So yeah, you could.
For a glass of wine, I bet you can't pick up that.
Yeah. Exactly.
And what level is that?
First
level spell.
Does the amount of cubic volume increase per the level? It's just that's it.
Rate?
Yeah, 5 cubic feet.
5 cubic.
Book, package, or any other non-living object no larger than a 5 foot by 5 foot by 5 foot cube.
Yep. So yeah, if you have, go ahead, Fawn.
There's a pretty large range of stuff. I mean, you could probably do it to say a cage, a prisoner cage, or a creature capture cage, or something like that. Would also be a good thing for it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, any kind of object or container, whatever.
Right. Yep.
All right, let's move on.
It has its uses.
It's a thing for a priest to cast on his Book of Holy Spells, or say he wants to protect the mages. If he's the guy who carries around the mage's spell book.
Yeah, that works for sure.
Yeah.
Keeps those kobolds from stealing it in the night.
Yeah.
So that's about it for the emails.
Yes, sir. Until next time.
So if you guys want to send us an email, it's THACOshammer@gmail.com. And the number
405-806-0555.
Yay. And so let us move on to people skills.
The face is familiar.
It's mine.
And so it is.
Oh, yes, of course, it stands out a mile, doesn't it? He's so common.
A little lady comes in here and starts throwing her butt around. What is that supposed to do?
All right, forget I said anything.
Maybe I will.
Well, that's pretty good.
Don't tell me you weren't looking at it.
Well, that's not half bad.
She's giving it right back to you.
People skills.
People skills. Character creation, or it's character background methods, excuse me.
Right.
So we're going to talk about this sort of lead into the Rule Zero thing, but we can talk a little bit about this here.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do it? I mean, this is the kind of thing. There's no like method 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just like, how do you come up with them? Yes. Sir.
It was just kind of funny the way you just put that little bit of high pitch on that one. It almost sounded like you were mocking our earlier conversation off the air, but that's it. It just made me laugh.
Me?
No.
Oh no, not you, Glenn. Never.
But anyways.
But anyway.
But anyway, yeah. It's not like there's a certain method. I mean, how do people go about coming up with characters?
Go ahead.
Right. I'm not starting this one. Right.
Okay, I'll start. Well, most of the time, if I'm as a DM, if I'm creating NPCs, there's this nice little chart that I've been using for years, and it comes up with actual pretty good backgrounds in history, and it creates basically it creates a third dimension for the character. For me as a player, I mean, I've done both where I've come up with stuff off the top of my head or I've used a chart, but, I usually go with, what's most expedient or if my muse gets off her lazy ass and gives me some inspiration.
Are we talking player characters or are we talking NPCs?
I was just saying either. Either way.
You could say either one.
Okay.
Now, as far as if I'm doing player characters, I mean, even for NPCs, Crispy one time said he doesn't really give his character's personality or any kind of backstory until like 3 sessions in to see if they're going to survive. I can't do that.
No, me neither.
I'm just that way. So what I do is basically just find a hook.
Yeah.
Any hook. Any kind of quirk, hook, or personality trait, and go with it, and then the rest of it will follow. I can elaborate on that. That's how I do it. Corey, what about you?
I'm the psycho on the far end of the gauge here.
Brian, get the matches away from him.
I won't even throw dice until I've got a background. I won't even contemplate it until I've thought about it. I mean, I've got a concept for a character, and the first thing I want to know is I need to know more about my character than I give out to another co-character. Because you can't just walk up to somebody and go, "Hey, who are you?" Well, I'm Dave, and I used to be a tailor, but I decided to become an adventurer. And then later on, they're like, "So, you have any brothers, sisters?" I haven't figured that out yet. No.
I haven't rolled for it yet.
Yeah. To me, you need to have more information than you're going to be giving other people at that table. And you have people who are going to interact with you as players, so they're going to ask, "Who do you pray to?" I haven't got that far in the character sheet yet. That's not what you want to hear when you're role playing.
This is true.
So for me, it's a concept of a character. I got to know about the character, and I got to feel it, because if I don't feel it, you might as well just make my mini one of those pieces off of like the sorry board, those little swept little like tokens, because that's all I'm playing. I'm playing a token until I actually put life into this character.
Right.
So for me, the background. One of the main things that I like doing is simply because I have the ability. I use my map of my world because that's where we've been usually playing. So first thing I do is pick where he's from. Where's he from? And then I can build from there. I don't care if he's, an escaped serial sheep rapist, or he's he's the blacksmith's daughter,
You must be a lot of fun in Monopoly. I got my whole background for the shoe.
That's right.
Hey, I'm the race car. Yeah, I was a former professional race car driver.
That's right, exactly. So I took an arrow in the knee.
Yeah,
that's funny.
The iron. Well, I just stamp out evil.
Yeah, as for NPCs, I'd have to say that my NPCs, I find it's important to do backgrounds. Like when the characters are like, "Well, we're going to go to the bar." First thing I think of is, okay, what's the bartender like? How nasty / beautiful / charming are the bartender or the waitress is going to be? Is there a bouncer? Does he have one eye? Or is he just like a little skinny guy that takes strength potions because he thinks it's funny to get tossing ogres out by like a small halfling or something like that? So it's like you got to come up with stuff on the fly as a DM for NPCs, especially if somebody's like, the game is in a railroad and they decide not to go to the tavern, but instead they want to go talk to every tailor in shop to make new clothes so everybody matches. So now you have to come up with 5 different personalities of 5 different backgrounds of, NPCs.
Don't you just hate that?
I do. I do. But anyway.
I find that actually at the drop of a hat, I find that a personal challenge. So we get some weird ass stuff that comes out sometimes. So he was a former snake handler, that now he's a tailor.
Yeah.
What?
I will.
He says dress to the left, and he means it.
Yeah. Before Full On gives his definition of how he does it, I will say lately a lot of my players have been reaching for a certain blue book that's on my shelf that I just recently got an acquisition, and it has to be the casting.
Central Casting, Heroes of Legend.
And they've all been rolling backgrounds in that book, and they're just.
I got a set of those.
Oh, I have the full set too.
That's why I had to say that for you, Glenn, because I know that.
One of my mini toys.
What about you, Full On? What do you do?
I have a wide variety that I go to, depending on how much time I have and how much time I want to put in, whether it's for PCs or whether it's for NPCs. Generally, I kind of offer up for. If I'm going to be a DM and there's going to be background consideration given to the group that's getting made, I kind of offer it up to say, which way do you collectively want to go? And I can go with either the list of the straight short list of backgrounds that you can find in your DMG, just give me a shot at that and we can go with that. Or we can do the Roll from the DM's Toolbox, which is another fun book to have a hands-on.
Ultimate Toolbox.
The Ultimate Toolbox, yes. But my general go-to is going to be one of two things. I've already said the central casting books, and those things are awesome, but you have to, like all things, control yourself when using them. Because you can kill your characters with those books. I've tried to create 5 characters and they all died in creation. This is shades of friggin' space opera here. We don't need to have that unless you really want to. But you can have some fun, interesting times. And I've had 12 pages of character background written out from central casting because it just wouldn't stop rolling. So you have to be willing.
Well, you will stop rolling eventually.
Jane, stop this crazy thing.
Yeah, and I find essential.
Control yourself. The essentials of who am I, where am I from, what happened to me as a kid, what made me where I am, maybe a little bit about immediate family, and go.
Yeah.
And try not to go down the rest of the tangents that rabbit hole open up. But a faster, easier way than doing that, unless I really want to go full bore and full dress into the weirdness, which central casting can give you, is I have also the Galactic Underground books, which, although it's a game, they are great, because you can get a background for a character in 4 rolls. 4% of rolls. That's it.
Yep.
Well, I was growing up table 1. I was growing up table 2. Table of weirdness and something related vaguely to your class. Go.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen those charts.
Nice.
Yeah, those would actually work very well.
To create a hook from, and you just run with it.
Yep.
Sounds cool.
Very nice.
Well, I
I
just
just see them.
things on the fly.
Actually, and there is also another method which I used to use years ago, where it was called the 7-sentence PC or NPC.
I had that article. I love that article.
Yeah,
I give it to you.
Yeah, I had that. That was like, oh god, like back
Dragon
in
number. What
oh
number
god,
is it?
I've been looking for it while we've been talking. It's in the 220s somewhere, and I can't find it.
Yeah.
I'm about to look at the Dragon decks.
It was a whole section they did about NPCs and villains and stuff. They have a couple of good articles in there too, called like You Again, how to use a recurring villain NPC.
Exactly.
Oh,
That
very
kind of
cool.
thing.
Yeah, we need to start.
Yeah.
We need to start just doing some Dragon articles, because there are a lot of little gold mines for second edition in that run. But yeah, I mean that's how I did it before until I got to using like the charts, like say out of like Cyberpunk and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, Cyberpunk,
Yes.
Metcon, and Artelsorian stuff. The character generation things from Cyberpunk or for Mechton are also awesome, and you can import them. Just do a little bit of DM on the fly conversion to make your sci-fi stuff work for your fantasy. I got fantasy in my sci-fi, I got sci-fi in my fantasy, I got chocolate in my whatever.
There you go.
Yeah, but I mean, there are tons of different methods. Use what just. I would suggest to players and DMs alike, just cast your net out there, find out, pull in little tidbits, and find out what works for you, and just run with it.
And if you're the chart kind of person, like full on, and me to a certain extent, get a Central Casting Heroes of Legend and Ultimate Toolbox. That's all you need right there.
Every
Right
time
there.
every time those 2 words are mentioned in sequence, I start getting a headache because the charts are just intimidating. It's like I open the book and it's like this mountain of charts is about to fall on my head.
I'm sure there's
Again,
other books like that.
You have it's like the player's option stuff. You can go too deep.
Yes,
you can go too far.
Yes,
You need to set some limits, especially if you're doing NPC creation for an adventure you're setting up. You don't want to say, I'm going to create all my NPCs from the Central Casting Heroes of Legend. No, you only want to go for like your primary BBEGs, major NPCs, things that are going to hinge the plot on, and everything else you can do a fast and dirty roll. There's another neat thing that is a big push by DM Chris over on D20 Radio, which is the questions 3. What do you love? What do you hate? Why is your character with the group? Answer those 3 things and run with it.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, cool.
Good stuff.
Well, yeah,
Good stuff.
like
Tell
I
us-
said, yeah, go for it, Glenn. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, we're as you can tell, folks, we're just a little out of sync. This is what happens when we don't do a podcast for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We're stepping all over each other. Ow.
And you can talk to that. You can yell at us about that too if you go to thacoshammer@gmail.com.
And you know they
or
will.
osrgaming.org, or dragonsfoot.org, or purpleworm.org, or planetdz.org.
Yes.
D20. I'm getting to it. D20radio.com. Nutcanland.com. There's this whole list on my browser I have to look through all the time.
Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus.
Yes.
There we go.
We're everywhere.
Crying out loud. Yeah. Okay. So, oh my goodness, let us move on to Rule 0. This is going to be fun.
One would think you've been doing this all your life.
We'll remember you said that.
I know. I'm sure you hate me just enough.
Rule 0.
Rule 0.
Okay.
Okay, folks. Remember this whole thing we were going to do called whole cloth?
Yeah, back in the summer of 2011.
We're gonna reboot it. Yeah, we're going to reboot it.
Yeah.
With our current roster of reprobates.
Mm-hmm.
We are each going to make a character, and just like 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take each section and do a different section of it. Now we've already done concept and stats.
Yes.
And we caught Corey and Full On up to speed.
Yes.
And they have their stats, and the concept remains the same, which was?
We were going to create a character from scratch and use the different methods to generate stats and go with the concept, but put your own little spin on it. Now,
and I'm including myself out because basically I didn't write anything down. So.
Oh. Well. Okay. Actually, go ahead, Glenn.
No. Actually, what?
No, I have your stats.
Oh, well, then never mind. I guess I'm doing it. No, but I say... Okay,
yeah, I have. No, I wrote down everything, and I kept it. Just so that... Just in case we got away from it, and it takes us, 7 or 8 months to get back to it, like, what happened?
Or in case there's a 25-minute argument before the podcast. And...
You didn't have.
I don't have my character sheet today. Oh, that's fine. I've got the convenient copy. Next.
Oh boy.
Okay. Anyway.
Thanks, Corey. Thanks a lot.
Anyway, what I was trying to say was, what's the concept for the character we came up with?
Okay, the concept. It was just a character who was he's kind of gotten out their personality. He's been constantly teased as a child because of his pickle nose. That's what we came up with. Yeah, the pickle nose was Crispy's idea.
Yeah.
Crispy came up with that one.
So you're telling me he looks like Squidward?
No, he looks more like oh God, I have the character in mind, but I can't think of the name. Darn. Squidward doesn't. Oh, never mind. We're getting off tangent.
De Bergerac.
Yeah, there we go. That's actually a good one.
So we have some stats here.
Yes.
Okay. Now we have to apply that stats to choose a race, a class, and proficiencies.
Correct.
What shall we start with first, race or class?
Yeah. Well, I'll start with race.
Okay.
I'll be a straight human because the stats I came up with are sort of like, okay, he's a really strong guy and he's painfully average in everything else. As you will see with if those who have been with us that long, they know they've listened to the episode, but just to recap, I have like an 1831 strength and 11s and everything else. Which was funny.
What I had.
Your stats.
So I guess so.
Your stats, Glenn? Strength of 7.
Real quick.
Strength of 7, Dex of 7, Con of 14, Intelligence of 13, Wisdom of 12, Charisma of 9.
Oh, doesn't that scream fighter? Yeah.
I love it when the fighter screams. Oh wait, I'm not wearing my DM hat.
Okay, I'm going to be a pure straight human. I play Gamble World all of a sudden. I'm going to be a regular human too.
Okay. All right.
How about you, Corey? What do you want to do with your stats?
Corey? Did we lose Corey?
Sorry. No, I was here. Just checking my stats. My apologies. I think I'm going to go half elf with the. I want some diversity in the party, and I don't want to muddle too much with the stats that we rolled, so I'm going to go half elf.
Okay, I've got that written down. Fall on.
And fall on.
Well, I went with the classic method 5 generation, so my stats are Strength 14, Dex 15, Constitution 14, Intelligence 17, Wisdom 17, Charisma 8. And if I'm going to be a guy who is picked on about my nose, I'm going to be a gnome.
Yeah, he would have.
And everyone will pay.
No, of course a gnome.
No,
of course.
That gives me 14, 15, 14, 18, 16, 8. And I'm an insufferable prig about it.
Yep.
You said prig.
Yeah, but what about your character?
Score.
Him too.
Buried from behind the 3-point line, 3-point basket for Corey. Anyway.
We come to class now.
Okay.
Brian, what about you? What do you want to do with this?
Obviously, I'm going to be a fighter. Obviously.
You don't have to obviously be a fighter.
Yeah, actually, I do.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's let's put it this way. I'm not doing min-maxing, even though it sounds like it. But considering I've got an 18 strength and 11s and everything else, there's nothing else I can really do. Do well, let's put it that way. So, yeah, I'm taking advantage of that exceptional strength, and I'm going to take a fighter.
Okay, fighter. Myself, let's see. What I got piddly strength.
Mm-hmm.
What's my high stat?
14 in Constitution.
Constitution.
Mm-hmm. And 13 intelligence.
How about that wisdom?
12.
Yeah, what's the wisdom?
12.
Man.
You're batting 1,000 here, Glenn.
Yeah, the dice gods were not kind to him that day.
I was not. Yeah, it's like I may be a cleric, but not with that wisdom.
I'm going to retire and be a farmer.
Yeah. I'm going to be with a +1 plow. Yeah.
A vorpal plow, what?
Vorpal plow. Good.
Hey.
Write that down. That's a good idea.
I guess I'm going to have to be.
Come here, Mr. Gopher. I got a purple plow for you.
Will you stop trying to kill me, Full On? I'm just recovered. Oh, right. God, that was great.
All right, looks like I'm a thief.
You're going to be a thief? Okay.
I think I have enough dexterity to do that.
No, your dex is 7. You'd really be bad at it.
Is this like a...
Or very good. He can still find all the traps.
Once.
This is a reroll time. Right?
Depends on his con. Maybe twice.
Glenn, to be honest, I'd suggest you be a mage. I would suggest that. Yeah, I would suggest that. All right.
I didn't have the end for it, but okay.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what? No, actually, let me look at something real quick because I think you'll like this. Go ahead, guys. I just need to look something up.
I don't want to play the Gopher Mage.
No, I got something else in mind. Just continue.
Uh-oh. Well, remember, this is plain vanilla. We're not doing kits or anything.
Oh, that's true. Actually, no. It's in the player's handbook. What am I thinking?
What is it? Is it
an invoker?
Specialist mage?
Yes, be an invoker. I think your con is just high enough.
All right, I'm an invoker mage.
Dropping fireballs. Wait, what?
This is Full-On's job, isn't it?
Not this time.
Uh-oh. Maybe we'll have some reason now.
You believe it. You know what's coming next.
Don't you believe it? No, I take that back. You need a con 16. Sorry.
What, I can't? All right,
no,
just straight up.
Straight mage?
Mage, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
done.
Corey? Corey, what about you?
Mister,
I was gonna go tough and go dual class. Give them the option. If we're, you guys gonna go dual class. I'm going. Oh wait, I'm a half elf. That's right.
Multi-class.
Yeah.
Multi-class. Sorry.
No, I'll just go. I'm just gonna go fighter, but I'm gonna go a different fighter.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go straight. I'm gonna go fighter. But guys, those of you listening at home there want to know what I'm doing. It's gonna be different than a straight sword thunking Neanderthal. We're gonna go different way.
He's going to be fabulous.
Oh yes.
You're going that. Yeah, he's got the stats. Oh my God. Another swashbuckler. Oh damn. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought we weren't doing kits.
Yeah, that's true.
Doesn't mean hey. Before the kits came out, people played their characters the way they wanted to play them. Just because it says fighter, just because it says thief, doesn't mean I have to be ninja in a cat suit.
But if you can afford it, you can buy one and run around your room at night after the adventure and just.
Okay. I'm gonna pass on that because I just had a really nasty thought. Full on. What are you gonna do?
Full on. What class do you want?
Well, let's see. We've got fighter, we've got other fighter, and we've got what?
Mage.
All right. Somebody's going to have to shoulder the burden, so it will be me, but illusionist thiefed.
With an 8 deck. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, 15 decks. Yeah, he can do it.
Illusionist thief.
No illusionist and thief? Wow.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah,
They have
that's
to do.
shoulder.
Are they allowed to dual class?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Multi-class.
Yeah.
Multi-class.
And gnomes can
Yes.
and gnomes can advance unlimited in illusionist.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh
Now,
boy.
I would like next show I would like to handle the proficiencies
Okay.
rather than show because that's getting into like all books that I don't have and a lot of discussion and stuff like that there. And we could do a whole show on choosing proficiencies.
So we'll just do it as episode 3A, 3.1.
Yeah, something like.
Okay.
I'm not really counting, so the series ends when it ends. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it is your idea after all.
Yeah. And that way we get a chance to look over the proficiencies and we can come back saying, okay, I want to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I have no
problem. And I can do this. And I'll be good at doing this. And I'm going to do this, but I'm going to suck at it, and you're going to enjoy it.
Exactly.
Because you have no choice. But anyway,
let us move on.
Let's
to Magic Fingers.
Eeny, meeny, chili beanie, the spirits are about to speak.
Well, it just so happens that your friend here is only mostly dead.
Sounds like a lot of supernatural baloney to me.
Supernatural, perhaps. Baloney, perhaps not.
Magic Fingers.
Magic Fingers. What are we talking about, Full On?
Oh, I burn it. That's my usual response whenever we happen to see this irritating little box, a crystal box full of cards. Yes, it's the deck of many things. Also known as Instant Party Destruction Device.
Possibly.
I call it. I call possibly Party Destruction Device. PPDP.
Possible party destruction device, probable campaign disruption device.
Yeah.
And it's basically Armageddon in a deck.
More or less.
Card shows up in the GM's purview. Nothing good is going to come of it. Or if it does, it won't be worth it.
Let's be fair. What? No, I'm just saying. Let's be fair. That just as there is as much wheel in the deck of many things as there is woe. There is.
Yes, it is balanced.
Yes, it is. Let's be fair.
It's the wheel thing. Yes. And now
I run across all flavors and varieties of this, from the stock in trade out of the book, from the deck of many things too, stock and trade out of the book, from several varieties of homegrown weirdness where people decided, I want to add like 2 complete suits and more Arcana cards.
That's the one I like.
Not to mention the 2 or 3 versions that came up in the Dragon.
Yes. Yeah, the one that's based off the tarot, which can be really, really good or really, really bad.
Yeah, I wanted to add that in here because I just grabbed mine off my shelf that's still in the plastic bag here.
Oh, look at him.
Dragon Magazine issue number 148 actually has in the center of the book a pullout of hard card copies of printed cards with the Vizier, the Knight, the Jester, the Fool, the Rogue. What we did is we took a copy of this book and cut them out, and then a buddy of mine who I will give him props on here, Adam Shepler, had a buddy build him in shop class an actual box, a metal box that he acid etched the outside, and the cards fit perfectly inside. So yeah, it sits up on my shelf. So every time it's time to bring those cards out, we grab that box out and people's faces just turn white. They're like, no.
Yeah, and the dramatic music sting comes out of nowhere. Dun, dun, dun.
Yep. The cards are really well done. I mean, the art's not that bad, and the backside has like a yin-yang with dragons on the yin-yang. It's pretty cool looking.
That is awesome. That is
and
cool.
For those that are looking in their home game for this, you can find it in your Dungeon Master's Guide, or you can find a whole list of all the various ones in Volume 4 of your Encyclopedia Magica, or the assorted individual issues of Dragon Magazine, adventures that it shows up in, other weirdness like the Taroka deck from Ravenloft, or any number of things where the cards come out
and
bad things happen.
How about we describe?
And if you remember, in Ravenloft, the box set came with a Taroka deck.
Yes, it did.
Why don't we describe to those listening at home who's never used it essentially what this is?
Okay.
This deck.
If you've ever played Flux,
and if they haven't,
it's like that only deadlier.
Okay, and
Go
if
ahead.
they haven't.
All right, so this deck is a pack of 18 parchment cards, 4 of each suit and 2 jokers.
Yep.
Each of the 4 in each suit is different. 1/2 bring beneficial things, 1/2 cause harmful effects. Any person possessing such a deck may select cards from it 4 times or more if jokers are drawn, and whatever is revealed by the selected card takes place.
Yep.
After each draw, the card is returned to the pack and shuffled again before another draw is made. All 4 draws need not be made, but the moment the possessor of the deck states that he or she has no intention of ever drawing further cards, or after the maximum number of draws, the deck disappears.
Yep.
Very nice.
Note, a DMA invented deck using the guidelines above, and many DMs did.
Yes,
Curses
they did.
of Winter Houses.
Full on. Okay. All right. Let's put our. I hate to use the term, but let's put our cards on the table. Yeah. Okay. I am going to assume that almost every time they've come out, and I will put the maximum number at 5 throughout your gaming career. Every time this has come out, you've picked it, and something bad has happened. Okay.
Nope.
No.
Low. Your number was low.
Really?
It's double digits.
Oh my god! Wow. I've been gaming for 31 years now. I can count on one hand how many times the Deck of Many Things has come out.
You're lucky.
Yeah. Well, Yeah. No, I was lucky when I picked cards. I think the most I've ever picked out of the maximum number 4 is 3. I pushed my luck really far.
I do have to correct myself just a bit. I was reading the entry on the Deck of Many Things, a.k.a. the Greyhawk deck, not the Deck of Many Things 2, which is the essential Deck of Many Things that you find in your Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yeah, that's the one I've used.
Yeah.
And that one is a bit more.
Fair.
It's got Deck of Many Things contains either 13 cards or 22 cards. The additional cards in the 22 card deck are the ones marked with the special asterisk, but it's a number of cards or plaques made of ivory or vellum, each card engraved with glyphs, characters, and magical sigils, and each time one of the cards is drawn, the magic is bestowed upon the person who drew it for better or worse.
Yes.
Found in a box or leather pouch.
Yep. And yes, the thing is that yes, there are equal chances to find something good for your character, have something really bad happen to your character. And
I want
what? What's up, Glen?
No, go ahead.
No. Speak.
I want to hear what Corey did with them.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Deck. You know the rule first or Corey's?
Grandpa Corey, will you tell us about your deck of many things?
Uncle Corey,
I will
tell
say
the story.
this. I've seen this deck come out either by me or the DM random rolling treasure tables when I'm DMing, and just it coming up just in the treasure of dragons or what have you. Big, these things are rare, but I've seen them come up probably in double digits. I'd probably say no more than 20, but I mean I've seen it come up a lot, and every single time it's used, someone draws the void. Always. And for those at home who don't know what it is, the void is the king of spades.
Yep.
And your body functions, but your soul is trapped elsewhere.
Yep.
And I don't care if they do 1, if they do 3, if they do 4. I don't care how many cards they pick. Every single time, either the last card or the second last card has always been the void.
Well, it will be the last card.
Oh, yeah, it is the last card drawn.
No, because upon drawing the last card of your selection, or immediately upon drawing any of the cards in boldface, being the void or the donjon, the deck disappears.
Yeah, it never fails. And every time someone goes, yeah, there's a deck sitting over there in a small ornately crystal, I was like, nope, don't want it. I bury it. I bury it. And they're like, dude, we could sell them. I'm like, fine, you carry them, and if I see you playing with them, I will cold shot you. I'm not joking. I will cold
shoot
shot
you in the face with my crossbow. Yes.
Yeah, I will burn you.
Here's a quandary. You have this crystal box with cards on this one table. On this other table over here, you have this little board game. It says Jumanji.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Choose between the two of those.
I'll take Jumanji because nothing in it is permanent.
Yeah, to me, it's more like a card version, a deck of card versions of the Gypsy Machine in the beginning of Big. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And the last time that I've on either side of the screen have either introduced or encountered the deck of many things, everybody ran the other way.
No.
That's it. That I will say that is in my adaptation of Castle Amber. But
so you gave them XP for that, right?
No.
I would.
No. See, the thing is that I was going to really be evil and do the dreaded tarot deck of many things, which is a 78 card deck. And yeah, that is.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. It was in Dragon Magazine 77. It's in.
Oh yes, the tarot deck of many things.
Yes.
There it is.
Yes. And
21 numbered cards.
Page 381 of Volume 4 of your Encyclopedia Magica.
Oh my God.
Dragon Magazine 77.
Yep. And those things. And the thing is that it all depends on whether or not the card you pick is reversed. Because something good could come out of it, but if it's reversed, you're screwed.
That's the way tarot decks work, yes.
Yes, and whoever came up with this is a effing genius. Because this is if you really want to screw with your party, this is the easiest way to do it. Because
you have all of your major arcana. You have not 1, not 2, 4 complete suits of minor arcana, and just the chances to screw somebody over.
Yes, it is. I love it. I don't get evil very often as a DM, but when I bring this deck out and somebody actually decides to sit down and start drawing cards, I can't help but laugh evilly. But anyway, yes, the deck of many things. It all depends on how good, quite honestly, how good the DM shuffles. It just from a physical standpoint, because I've seen one player pick 4 times in a row and get all good things, and it was like no one else wanted to even touch the deck.
I want to play in your world then.
I wasn't running it. I was just a player. I just looked at the guy and I'm like, okay, is something? At that point I was thinking, okay, is something going on between this player and the DM? Is this the DM's pet? Wow. Because I'm like, nobody's that lucky. Nobody.
I've encountered free play, shuffle, and draw, and I've also encountered the infamous DM stack deck.
Oh, now see, that's just terrible. To me, that's just terrible. Why would you do that? I mean, seriously.
I didn't say I did it. I said I encountered it.
I know. I'm just one of those where I'm like, why do people have to be that terrible as a person?
I would say this.
What's that?
If you had full intention of having a deck of many things appear in your campaign, there was a specific NPC place, plot, location that had one involved in your campaign, and you did not want the deck to end up breaking your campaign or TPKing your party, stacking the deck might actually be a good call on the DM's part to present it to the party. They may not draw from it. They may only draw 1, 2, 3, or 4 cards from it, or 6 or 8, depending on the version that they're drawing from. But you know what's coming, and you are prepared for it, as opposed to, if they choose to go down that road, as opposed to random draw, random chaos, boom, suck it up and drive on.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about you, Glenn? What do you think? What do you think about the magic item?
I've never used it. I hope to never run into it. I've heard my share of horror stories about this deck.
Yeah.
I've known people who've drawn, and their characters are like shells of people.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I have one guy run a campaign where he never had the deck in there, but the NPC we were dealing with who had the information had drawn from a deck of many things in the past, and he was like totally like shell shock insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the thief pulled out a normal deck of cards, and he just about he went nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, I never.
See the funniest thing, well, not funny, but the most screwed up thing I ever saw was somebody chose the death card. Now, as you know, if you draw the death card, a minor death comes and attacks you, and you have to defeat it one-on-one.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And of course, because this happened, the entire party jumped in. So I think it was like 6 minor deaths. And we're talking AC -4, 33 hit points. It always hits when it attacks, and you basically just have to have quite a few hit points, because it does like I think it's like 2 to 12 damage or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it's just, and the funny part is they beat the deaths.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 to 16 points of damage, always striking first in the round and never misses. Mm-hmm. And of course, if the character dies, he's slain forever. So yes.
Yeah. No raising this one.
No, not at all.
Yeah, when I played and it came out, when the death was drawn, 2 other party members tried to jump in to help, and they disappeared. And essentially, each had to fight their own separate death, like on a fugue plane. That literally, and both of them lost. So their souls were waiting to see whether their original character beat death or not. If he lost, death took all 3 of them.
Ooh.
Wow.
So essentially, they were like, well, we don't know what to do. We shouldn't have jumped in, but we just lost our combat with death, so now we're waiting. Come on, Dave. Roll them 20s.
Well, the DM was being very gracious, because he didn't have to do that.
Yeah, well, they each fought their own deaths, but they couldn't fight like together in a group, so each of them had to fight their own, and the other 2 lost. Dave actually won. He won with like 3 hit points left, I think. But yeah, it was awesome. Everybody's like, cool. Okay, I'm not helping you anymore. Yeah, but it's a dangerous magic item, folks. I don't suggest pulling it out unless you're crazy like Full on RI.
Yeah. You cannot tell me that you guys don't have any deck of many things stories to tell us.
Yeah.
So tell us at THACO@gmail.com.
Yep, send us a voicemail.
I will admit to creating my own portion of this chaos, because I Star Warsified it for my Raven Star campaign.
Did you now?
The holocron of many things.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Really?
Nope.
It's holocron.
Wow. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I just don't.
Take everything in the deck of many things, put a Star Wars spin on it, and let chaos fly.
Nice.
On that note, let's move on to Snipe Hunt.
If you only had a living brain.
What do you think? Escaped gorilla?
Listen, you're making enough noise to wake up the dead.
I don't have to wake him up. He's up.
It's time for a snipe hunt.
Okay, we got a snipe hunt for doppelgangers this time.
Yes, indeed.
Doppelgangers, they've been with us basic.
Yes.
Pretty much. Changing a little here and there between editions, things like that.
A little bit.
But pretty much the same thing. Neutral creatures and mimicry.
Yes. And go ahead.
Well, the fun thing about these kind of creatures is it's fun to do your own spin on them.
Yeah.
Corey's not actually here. He never really came back. I'm actually a doppelganger.
So there you go, see?
Mm-hmm. And
it says it's a master of mimicry that survives by taking the shape of men, demi-humans, and humanoids.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the reason that many parties worth the salt have their special player codes for whenever the party splits up and rejoins. You got to start testing to see, are you who you say you are?
But the problem is, full on, they have ESP. They can read your mind and get the answer. So if you say Queen to Queen's level 3, they will just look at you and say Queen to King's level 1, and you don't know. You just don't know.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Now on the plus side, I'm looking at the stats here, and there are only 4 hit dice.
That's pretty substantial. Go ahead.
That's not. Well, I say it's on the plus side because it's not 8.
Yeah, this is true. But with their abilities and the abilities not to find them, that 4 might as well be an 8.
Yeah. It makes them almost twice as tough to defeat. Now,
Their high gives us a natural AC of 5.
Yes. Yeah. So, the thing is that they can take the form of whomever they can. And the ESP, and they can imitate your victim with 90% accuracy. So basically, when a doppelganger infiltrates the party and the party members are suspicious, it turns into an episode of Law and Order.
Yep.
Now,
or John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes.
Yes. That's another one. Oh, but I have Glenn and Corey. You remember we were playing in Crispy's game? Remember when the doppelganger came in as a random encounter, and we basically had to question it? And
my character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he imitated your character, and the two of you were doing
my character. Same thing.
Oh my god! And the two of you were doing freaking Hunter S. Thompson back and forth. It was like dueling hunters, and I'm like, oh my god!
No, stop! Shoot him! He's the real me.
Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
What are you crazy? He's real. No.
Oh god, that was so funny.
One of the more deadly abilities this creature's got, it's immune to sleep and charm, so you can't knock it out to figure it out what it is. So it's immune to that. Not only that, but it rolls its saving throws if it was a 10th level fighter.
Yep.
Holy moly.
Yeah, let's talk defense out the wazoo.
Yep. And just to complete the story, the way we found out who was the doppelganger is who one of the other players used ESP on it, and it actually worked, and then we all just jumped on it and killed it. That was great. But yeah, I mean, these things, when put in the right places. Now, if you're big bad evil guy, let's just say he's an evil archmage, and he gets, say, 2 or 3 of these things and inserts them into certain areas of a region he's trying to take over, they're really good assassins. So
yeah, it says in the habitat here that they're originally intended to be used as spies and assassins.
Yep.
The creator of them died, but they still work as spies for evil powers, thieves, and government.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So that's what comes from being neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they can just take these beings and plant them in certain places and just wreak all kinds of havoc.
To me, they're like the ultimate mercenary monster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
Mercenary assassin type.
Yep.
Yeah,
They are.
Perfect adventure hook too. I mean, you could have the characters summoned by the king as guards because the nobles in his court are dying and no one knows what's doing it or who's doing it. And here it could be a doppelganger actually working for an evil kingdom off in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Good adventure hook right off another monster.
Yep. Yep.
And this is why you never trust the NPCs you find in the dungeon. Who look so helpless and need rescuing? Air quotes, air quotes.
You know, it was worse when we reviewed Lamentations of the Flame Princess for basic, because his sample adventure involved a doppelganger, and his doppelgangers, you couldn't tell whether they were real or doppelgangers unless you cut them open and see if they had a jewel for a heart.
Wow. Yeah, that makes them
made it even worse.
But
he is a doppelganger.
The thing that I would hate is cutting open the freshly killed thing that looked exactly like your friend and noticing a real heart and going, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, you don't have to freshly kill him. If you got a cleric on hand, we can just pin him down, cut him open, and take a quick peek and say, "Okay, throw a heal."
That's true.
Raise it right now.
Yeah, exactly. Heal spell. But yeah, I mean, these things, encountering these beings in the dungeon, yes, can be very tough, because all it takes, because this is how they operate. They'll come along as like another adventurer, or just a poor, just a beat up person, or whatever he is, or something like that. And then they will try very hard in their way to get one person away from the party. And then they will take their true form and try to kill them. And I mean, if you've got a good enough player, you could actually have the player, if he gets killed by the doppelganger, play the doppelganger.
Yeah.
And then but that kind of creates player tension.
Here's a special little tweak for you. You notice you keep talking about a doppelganger here, a doppelganger there, how they appear in modules as pre-written. Did you take a look at the number appearing?
Yeah, 1 to 12.
Oh, yeah.
3 to 12.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Now, another place that doppelgangers show up is, say, the Traveling Inn. Anybody ever seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You know what's in the chili? Doppelgangers put what's in the chili in the chili.
Don't. I'm trying not to. You're going to give me nightmares, Juan. Stop that.
Sounds like my Racostas.
Yeah.
Going back to Lamentations, that was the whole situation. The adventurers arrive at this inn that doppelgangers have infiltrated, and the innkeeper doesn't know who's who or anybody or this, that, and the other thing. I mean, they go into the stables, and there's a horse and supposed to be a horse and, or rather a wagon and 6 horses in there. There's 12 horses.
Yeah.
And it may not be a doppelganger. It may not be a doppelganger trying to get you to go off alone. It may be 3 of your friends say, "Come with us. We've got to go do something."
Yep.
And then they eat you.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Imagine walking into a brothel and it's all doppelgangers.
Yep.
Think about that.
That's a profitable use of doppelgangers.
Yeah, but
be.
Yeah, well, I was thinking more for more nefarious things, because
again, getting into those mercenary doppelgangers that are the spies and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
They're all for that industry.
Oh, I agree, Glenn.
Yeah.
The madam or the pimp of the brothel would be a rakshasa.
Okay, good.
Sorry, I had to do it.
That would work.
Yes, it would. Very well.
Because they can probably see right through a doppelganger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, easily. Yep. They have the power to do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. A beholder?
Oh,
wow.
Beholder. Well, I got the ray,
Yeah.
Anyway, tell us about your doppelganger stories, folks. THACOshammer@gmail.com and all the other places.
Yep.
Let's go on to our final segment, DM's Rag.
Well, that's quite a story.
I think it would be fun to run a newspaper.
And here it comes, right over the old plate.
The DM's Rag.
Okay, DM's Rag. We're going to talk about a little module that has been much maligned over the years. Mm-hmm. It came with the DM screen.
Yeah.
And it's called Terrible Trouble at Tragador, written by Gene and Bruce Rabe.
Yep.
This came out it was copyrighted in 1989.
Yep.
So it came out with that classic 2E screen that everybody uses.
Yep.
I
read through this module,
mm-hmm.
and I'm saying, what's wrong with it?
Yeah.
Why do people hate it so much?
Yeah. Well, I kind of went off on a minor rant when we talked about the DM screen in a previous episode because, yeah, I mean, when I first started going on Dragon's Foot, of course, there was a lot more conflict between the first and second edition people than there is now. They just sort of go off to their neutral corners now. But one of the things
you mean they were having edition wars? Copyright Gamer Nation Studios.
yeah, perish the thought, right? But the whole thing is that even the second edition people, as we were commiserating on our various experiences and how we do things, they, Terrible Trouble at Tragador came up. Somebody brought it up as a topic, and I'd say probably 8 out of 10 of the people who responded hated it. And I'm like, why? It's a perfect mid-level introduction module to second edition. It is.
To me,
and
it's
here's
better. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, here's something else to consider about it is the one that's presented in your second edition Dungeon Master screen bundle is a retake. It's a version of Triagador, adapted and condensed from an RPGA Network tournament module of the same name.
Yes.
That's right.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right.
Maybe that's what they're picking on.
It's the express version.
Well, my whole thing is that I can kind of understand it because it does have that tournament module flavor. They couldn't quite, wash it completely out. Yeah. So I can kind of understand it from that thing, but they're like, if I could pull up examples of what they were talking about, it would take too long. But if I could, I remember just sitting there reading post after post about it, and I'm like, what the hell? I mean, really? What's the problem here? This is your typical wilderness / dungeon crawl /
the whole thing. This whole thing is you're at one town that relies on lumber from another town, and the lumber dried up, and Tragador's in trouble, and it comes to find out that some enterprising, they call them dark elf, but it's a drow.
Yeah, they're
drow female went into the forest and started a mining operation and started to enslave all the logger men.
Yeah, all the males, yeah.
With the help of a Lamia.
Yep.
That's the gist of the story right there. To me, it's no better or worse written than a dungeon adventure at the same time, at the same period.
I agree.
This could be down another fork from the friggin' Keep on the Borderlands.
Yep.
Down the road the other way.
Exactly.
For those adventurers who are too experienced to go beat up on orcs. Yeah.
I thought it was a decent enough module for a mid-level party.
Right. Yeah.
The only real gripe I had about it was maybe it's me. Maybe it's because I've been reading a lot of these modules, a lot of these dungeon adventures where they give you the setup and then basically they give you another section for the DM. Well, here's the real story.
Okay.
They didn't do that here. You have to read through the thing to find out what the terrible trouble is at Tragador. Yeah, you dope it out after a while and finally laid it up. It's like, could you put this in the front?
Yeah. What it's missing, as a lot of the other TSR printed modules contained, was the section for the DM, which is blaringly missing because it's a condensed version. It was just shoved into the DM screen as a bonus. I'll tell you one of the main things for me that caused a problem with this.
What's that?
The artwork.
Artwork, yes.
Come on, get it out, Corey. Come on.
I'm trying to be diplomatic about this, Mr. Horn. I have no real problem with your artwork per se, but I mean, anybody who has it in front of them, pull up page 15. There's a picture of a giant man who's the
overseer and the slaves. Yeah, I see that.
I'm looking in the background of those rocks. Okay, I understand you just want to shade the background a little, but can you make it not look like my 4-year-old nephew did this? Come on, this is published artwork. I get it. You're Russian, but anyways, that's just my gripe. The artwork in here, the maps are lackluster compared to the other ones that I'm used to seeing in a lot of the other TSR things. And if this was a remake, I don't know why they just didn't use the original maps or the photocopier that they used to make the 7,000 copies or however many they did. Right. They needed to change that toner, but yeah, it's.
I could see my big issue is out of all the maps, the one that they don't give you a grid, scale, anything for the mines.
Yeah,
the mines. Yeah,
put it on graph paper. You cross-hatched in all the dirt around the mines. Give me something for the mine.
Or, all you needed was a scale. That's all you needed.
It looks like someone spilt coffee on the hash mark background and went, "Dude, make a negative of that. That's the mines."
Yeah, there are a lot of aspects about this adventure that's a rush job, which is kind of, I think, at least to me, this is why this was included with the DM screen, because, this would not have cut it. Yeah, it wouldn't have cut it as a regular module.
It would have cut it as a dragon or a dungeon adventure.
Yeah, but as I said before, Gene Ray was already established, very well established by this time.
That's another thing I don't understand about dungeon. Where does it say only neophytes can do them?
For the most part, it doesn't. But that's.
It was. I mean, that's the case. That was the case. But I mean, well, never mind. Let's get into politics.
Yeah, the reason that there weren't a lot of well-known authors doing those kind of is because they were offered full module jobs,
right,
and they didn't want to do.
But I mean, if they're gonna toss off something like this, they might as well do a magazine. I mean,
yeah, I agree.
Anyway, but I get it.
You get a bonus here. A sort of, well, I'm not going to say crappily written because I think it's very well written.
Yeah,
I think it is well written, but it's just
I would have been happier. Yeah. I'd have been happier if they would have taken this out and just quickly did a black and white remake update for second edition of the Shady Dragon Inn.
That'd have been nice.
That
is a DM screen. Give me some NPCs. That would have been perfect.
Or the Rogues Gallery.
Or the Rogues Gallery. Just a small condensed. That's something like that. This, in my opinion, I honestly, when I first bought mine and I had my hard copy and I opened it up and that fell out, I almost threw it out. And my buddy's like, "Dude, that's a module." I'm like, "Why is it in here?"
Yeah, they just wanted to throw in just a little. They wanted to throw in a short adventure. So that's like the first sentence out of the whole thing when they're talking about
it. Like that DM shield they put out with the index.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that was even worse.
Yeah, that was much worse.
Not making anymore.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, sometimes you got the group where they grab D&D for the very first time. They're sitting down to it, and somebody got the short straw and is going to be the DM.
True.
There are parties that have to deal with that.
Something I find pretty funny here, if you look at the first page where the girl's hanging the Help Wanted poster in the picture below it, it says Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, AD&D, Projects of Your Imagination, Fiend Folio.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next page is like, Terrible Trouble Tragador is a special short adventure for second edition game. Wait, hold on.
They do mention in the back, just before the climax, that you might consider referring to the Fiend Folio.
Yeah, for the Dark Elves and yeah.
I think this was the one where they said one of the hooks was one of the guys was found dead. There was a guy in a caravan found dead with a deck of many things in his hand.
Stop really?
That. No, seriously, with the skull card missing. And
Death came for him. Death came for him.
Nice.
Well, you know what?
So you gotta find
never mind. I'm not going to talk about that. Don't you remember we reviewed a module where you had to take a deck of many things from parts of the dungeon?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think yeah.
Was that during my vacation?
No, no, that was before. That was before you left. That was like
not paying attention.
You see, here's the plot hook. You see, the doppelganger comes and hires the party because he's got a slave mining operation that's going on, has been disrupted because someone, Dark Elves, went and smuggled in 3 decks of many things and distributed them among the slave population. He wants you to go in and get those decks of many things out of their hands so they can keep digging up whatever it is they're digging on their way into the abyss.
Wow. So would you say that you have a plethora of deck of many things?
Oh, wow. This is just, wow. Okay. I think we should call this right here before we
wait.
go
Are we gonna judge the? Are we gonna give our numbers?
Okay.
I haven't gone that long.
Okay.
I give it 3. I give it 3 stars for effort.
Mm-hmm.
Out of 5.
Out of 5. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give it 3.5 because it's a nice little adventure, but yeah, you can see I just thought of something.
What?
That this was probably a first edition adventure that they adapted to second edition. That might also contribute to the roughness of it, aside from being a tournament module. Yeah,
especially since it was a tournament module
for
RPGA.
Yeah, so yeah.
It just condensed 3 packages.
Yeah. So it's 3.5 for you. What about you other guys?
I give it 3 doppelganger faces out of 2. I'm not going to play with you too far. Lurking.
Okay.
You're getting 2 from me.
2?
2?
Wow.
Yep.
So we're at... That's...
I'd rather play Rahasia.
Whoa. Now wait. Ooh. Careful.
You mean Rahasia?
Yeah.
That was Bitches for Witches, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh boy. Wow.
So average of
that's about it's an aggregate total of 11.25, so that's like God, my brain doesn't want to work. That's an average of just under 3, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's like 2.9 or something like that.
So if you guys tell us all about it, what you did with it, did you use it? Did you burn it? Did you rewrite it?
I used it.
All about it. THACOshammer@gmail.com and all the other places.
Yep.
Well, gotta close another splat book, guys.
Yep.
Games about. I put my dice away. Had a good game, and that was a lot of fun. That was a great discussion, and my character didn't die. So
No, you did. No, he did.
So say goodnight. Say goodbye, Brian.
Until next time, folks. See you later.
How about you, Full On?
Gamer Nation, we'll catch you again.
And the other guy, the art guy, Corey.
The art
So our
snob.
swords meet again, or that lands in your backs.
Oh yeah, and I rolled a 99, so my doppelganger's face falls off, and he's now exposed.
Oh.
Kill it with fire. It must die.
Don't.
I have a job. You see, there's this mine.
And I'm DM Glen. I'll see you next time when the hammer comes down, probably on the doppelganger's face. And THACO's hammer. Bye-bye.
Nice.
These guys with the doppelganger. All right, what, you going to use it in the next game now?
I want a female one. I'd never have to cheat.
Hey,
it doesn't matter,
Glenn. You'll never see it coming when I do. Let's just put it that way.
THACO's Hammer theme is provided by the Diablo Swing Orchestra. You'll find them on Jamendo.com. All other additional music for this episode was provided by Kevin MacLeod. You'll find more of his music on Incompetech.com. Be sure to visit our website at THACOshammer.info. If you have any questions or comments, email us at THACOshammer@gmail.com. Remember, that's an O, not a 0. You can also find us on the second edition forums at osrgaming.org and at purpleworm.org. Or give us a call and leave us a voicemail at 405-806-0555. See you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer.